Hey everybody, what's happening? I'm Tommy and you're on the boat. How you been? Sweet Liberty, good to see you. What's happening? Trips Captain, good to see you. Auntie, how have you been? La Pintora Bella. Wait a second, what are you doing here? On time even. Hard to believe, isn't it? Can I get a 5x5 so I don't keep talking to myself just in case no one is hearing me? Because that's always a bummer. You know what I mean? You continue to talk and you start rattling your jibs and then you start saying hello to people. And the next thing you know, people are like, can't hear you. Meredith Lynn, good to see you. Happy New Year. Glad that you're here. Mary, Happy New Year. Hey, Sean, good to see you. Karma, Chameleon. Thank you very much. Thank you, Linsanity. Allison Metcalf Palumbo, good to see you. Rhonda. Barbara Aldrich, Missy Ann. Mark Hardman, good to see you, Mark. Sharon Clark, how you been? Subi, good to see you. Nana, doing all right? Loud and clear. I like it. I like it. Occasionally, even a blind squirrel will find a chipmunk or something like that. Monica, good to see you. Al Storm, what's happening? Whoopi. Barney, good to see you. The Name Game. Yes, we're going to be playing the Name Game. Lori Hart, good to see you. Caroline in Canada, how you been? Good. I was looking for another one of my devices, but I think I may be charging it. I'm in my 6th birthday on the boat with my crew. Happy 56th birthday. Congratulations. That's awesome. Thank you for spending your birthday with us. How cool is that? Very, very, very cool. Brandon Galloway, good to see you. Rosanna Dana, good to see you. DS Kitty, hello, Diane. Michelle, good to see you. No, Nisheri, I'm sorry. It's that whole reading thing. Shelly Kelly, good to see you. How have you been? Jane Aldrich is here. I think we have them both. Goddess Divine, good to see you. Sharon Kim. There's James Collins Cares. Yeah, people were doing a little roll call. Auntie L, good to see you. Happy Phantom. Lacey Silver Snake, good to see you. Taylor Miller, how are you? Good. Monique loves animals. This place would just be heaven for you because they are everywhere. And if they're not attacking one another, they're cleaning each other. And honestly, the boys go from being like the best of friends, the coolest thing you've ever seen. They lay on top of one another and they clean each other. And then they sleep in this big ball of fur where you can't tell where one cat ends and the other one starts. It's absolutely lovely. Hello, Rose. Good to see you. CHL. Loving life. Well, someone is. Dreamer, good to see you. Kathy Wright, how are you? Andrea, Missy Ann Shell, there she is. Yeah, changed up on us when we weren't looking. I see how it is. Excuse me. Malvakai, Kim is Blue. Hey, Ree, good to see you. You know what? We were enjoying our time together. This has been a rough day. It's been a rough day, and it's kind of the nature of this. It's a life lesson, I think, somewhere, right? We do things and we don't think about it, but they affect so many people, right? The things that we do affect people far and wide, nothing to do with the decisions that we make. And it's one of those things that comes through every once in a while and kind of slaps you in the back of the head. And on and on. Good to see you, Brenda. How are you? Hey, Craig. So we're going to talk about naming some names. And, if you caught me on the Sean Atwood program, you probably caught some of this. However, we're getting to the point now, right? This is getting to the point where the clock's running and they're running out of time. The people that have been cited in the lawsuit by Little Rod, those people are either testifying, right, and giving their testimony and getting ready for what this is going to mean for them in court, or they're sitting with an attorney and they're getting ready for what's going to happen to them when they get charged. Now, I don't see these people getting free get out of jail cards for testifying against Diddy. There's a lot of people that have been complaining that now these people are just going to turn evidence and everything is going to just be hunky dory. They're not going to have to do any time. They're going to walk. I don't see that happening, especially for the people at the top of this. I think maybe the drug mule could probably cut a deal so that he wouldn't have to do any time. But I don't think Christina Karam, I don't think that that's a person that can dodge this bullet. KK's listed in a lot of people's testimonies. There's also going to be an awful lot of questions that need to be answered. Questions like who were making the phone calls the next morning? Because a lot of these people that are alleged that they got S8'd or got R-worded got phone calls that told them, you better back off. Hello, Renee B. You better back off because we're talking about a big star here. Hamster Heifer, good to see you. Hello. Kristen Melinda. Happy New Year. Hey, Kim, this is one of those situations, isn't it? Because somebody was making those calls. They had a handler, and the handler's job was to smooth this crap over. And it's funny. Not ha-ha funny. But the number of people that have to be a scumbag for somebody like Sean Combs to be able to do the things that he did, I think is easy to lose sight of. This required mountains of people. The people at these hotels are complicit. And that's why in some of the lawsuits, you'll see things like Marriott or whoever, and I'm throwing that out, but it could be any hotel chain. But you see the people that rented rooms out for these freak-offs are starting to get listed in some of these lawsuits. And I think that's logical, right? I probably wouldn't have thought that years ago, but I'm thinking that's logical now. And the reason I'm thinking it's logical is if this dude had to pay you, right, 410 stacks after leaving a trashed hotel room, and allegedly there were times where he might have had to pony up 10 stacks, right? Going in and doing like 100K in damage, allegedly, to some of these hotel rooms. You're going to tell me that the staff doesn't know that he's throwing a freak off, right? Drugs left everywhere, bottles of empty baby oil everywhere, candles burning down, wax getting all over the place. Like this dude was setting this crap up. He was, Martin Scorsese. It's not just that he wants his girl abused. He wants this filmed for posterity. Every one of these freak-offs allegedly was filmed. Why? Well, he used them as weapons, didn't he? It has been alleged that while on an airplane, he put a video of Cassie Ventura being essayed by two sex workers, porn stars, right? For all intents and purposes, that's really what we're looking at, isn't it? We know Jonathan Audie made porn, yeah, and he was hired for this. I think that a lot of these male sex workers that they're talking about were probably professional adult entertainers. That's a theory, but pans out with one of them, why not, right? It seems like it would be an easy way to find people like that. And when I say people like that, I mean people who could perform for days on end, right? I don't know, not me. Sorry. But that's just absolutely bizarre, isn't it? It's disgusting, right? Vile creatures. Well, and we're seeing it now, aren't we? We're starting to get an idea of just how freaking nasty this is. And you know what? Earlier today, people, there's a lot of talk that's been going around because this is in the subject matter these days. Cheating is an ugly thing, right? And it always requires lying and covering up and all kinds of other stuff, right? That lead into the behaviors that this cat took to a level that no one has ever even dreamed of. If a third of the allegations against Sean Combs are true, what this guy was doing was so far beyond the pale of anything else, right? Not in my lifetime, honestly. Like you would see these horrific stories of guys that build dungeons in their houses, right? It's that kind of evil. It's the kind of evil where this dude engineered his entire life, right? This is what's alleged by the federal government. I think it holds water. But this dude has engineered his entire life in such a way. Sorry, the light's killing me. He's engineered his life in such a way that he can go and essay every person that comes across his path. Boys, girls, men, women, right? In public, not in public. This happened everywhere. It happened with employees. It happened with not people that, people that weren't employed. And allegedly, he had staffers that were wandering through all of these parties to cull people off of the party, right? To separate them. And you know what the pitch was? The pitch was this. You're going to be going back to have a freak off of sorts. But this is an honor. He has chosen you, right? Wow. And I'll bet you that there was a time in the early 2000s, in the late 90s, in the early 2000s, where people were buying into this crap. Greatest parties on earth, right? And if we just listen to all of the things that people said, they told us everything that was going on. Jamie Foxx was saying to him, Playboy, I'll show you how to throw a party. I'm not going to spend as much money, but you're going to get the exact same effect. Well, what is that effect? Huh? People incapacitated with chemicals that you can use and videotape and do whatever? Honestly, I'm curious. I know a lot of people like that cat, but, he allegedly, he almost met his maker right? Through some kind of poisoning. Now, why did that happen? Well, it happened because he started talking about basketball games that he was playing where nobody wore any clothing. I would assume high tops. I doubt they were going barefoot. But naked basketball and the losing team. Yep. Yeah. Tell you what, that would make you rebound, wouldn't it? You'd be chasing chasing balls before they went out of bounds. You'd be working hard. Because apparently the way you played is if you lost, you were going to be on the receiving end of a sexual abuse. What? To be successful? To have these people say, okay, we're going to bring you to the next level. And Jamie Foxx tells a creepy story about Oprah Winfrey, right? And all of these really kind of famous people that stepped in to tell him he was getting out of line, right? He got this Academy Award, but he's acting like an idiot. And he's got to get back into the fold, and he's got to start acting right. You call in Oprah? Who called in Oprah? Who made those calls? When Dave Chappelle was offered all of that money and decided that not only was he not going to take the deal, but he felt it necessary to get out of the United States, right? When you say no to that deal, you need to get on a plane and go to Africa, right? When you turn down $50 million, that number that keeps coming back up again and again. Cat Williams. I turned down $50 million 4 times. Is that what he said? I think that's what he said. Weird, isn't it? And then he'll say that that Kevin Hart, all those contracts that he got came to about $50 million. We've seen that cat on film, haven't we? Making a jackwagon of himself. If he was your son, would you be proud of how he was acting at that party? But at the time, that was live streaming, right? Am I wrong on this? Or was that live streamed? Because he says in the video, he's making reference to the fact that the diddler was saying, me and homeboy used to wrestle for the cornflakes, right? Get up first thing in the morning, wrestling for those cornflakes. This is the same homeboy, by the way, that had to go to a doctor because he was bleeding rectally. That's some rugged wrestling right there, man. Not the kind we did in my hometown. You feel me? But this is the stuff that's been alleged to have been going on. And you got, what's his name, giggling and going, I can't believe you just said that live. Did anyone else just hear what he said? Thought it was the funniest crap ever. The only thing he found funnier was when the woman's hair caught on fire. How old is this idiot? Right? How funny is that? Look, her hair's on fire. That dude is a fool. And I'm glad he's on tape. I really am, man. Maybe you like his comedy. You know? Maybe Jumanji and Jumanji 2 were just a pisser. But these are the people that we're handing money to. So if I sound like when I say maybe we don't give these cats our money anymore, right? These people's behavior. Well, I mean, if someone's hair catching fire, they're toys, right? They're not people. They're there for the entertainment of the people that got behind the velvet rope, right? If you got the invite into the inner sanctum of this party, you're going to get to abuse all those people in that hot tub. Right? Seriously, do you think I'm far off? Kevin Hart is a drunk, says Shell. Yeah, you know what? I hear that he has a bit of a problem with booze. This is one of those situations, too, that it's a hard job, man. Honestly, like stand-up comedians that actually go and get on that, the tour and start going around the country is really rough. Cat Williams is and was right. And do you know what tomorrow is, Rose? Huh? Rose, tell me you know what tomorrow is, because it's a big day. It really is. I'm sorry, in the Diddyverse, this is the freaking Super Bowl, isn't it? I'm sorry. But to pump someone else's channel, but I'm going to do it because I hope everybody sees it. We're going to have something to talk about. But Cat Williams is going back on Shannon Sharp's program, Club Shay Shay. He's supposed to do it tomorrow, right? Now, the last time he did, he dropped bombs, right? Bomb after bomb after bomb. And he did it prescient, right? He was calling this like Nostradamus. This is the year that the truths are going to come out. Keep in mind when he said that, right? They hadn't kicked any doors in yet. None of that crap had been going on. Now, there are people who theorize he said this stuff because he had been called in and he gave up all kinds of info. If he did, by the way. I'm not calling dude anything other than a hero. If he did that, I think that's fantastic. But however he knew, the guy dropped bombs. Do me a favor, put a deuce in the chat if you saw his first showing on Shannon Sharp's program. By the way, I love Shannon Sharp. I really do. I know that there are people that don't dig the dude. Tara, thank you so much. I like Shannon Sharp. I like the way Shannon Sharp does his show. I mean, the drinking part, it is what it is. But I like the way the guy puts stuff on. And I am looking forward big time to hearing what his reactions are, not just for his predictions for the future, but I'd like to hear what he thinks about what just happened. Because he friggin' called it, right? 8-ball, corner pocket. Like, he called the shot on this one. So I'm curious to know if this is what he expected, right? There's only been one arrest so far. There's only been one arrest. Now, keep in mind, right? Kind of the way it went down with the Cassie lawsuit is Cassie filed the lawsuit. It was settled almost immediately. And then, obviously, the prosecutors from the Southern District of New York took a look at that lawsuit to see if there were crimes in it. I got to believe that the full court press that's being put on by Voldemort right now is to keep his name from going down the same tube that his other friend Sean is dealing with, right? He's afraid that the doors are going to come busting open on him the way they are on the diddler. And for the time being, there's a lot of people still really afraid of him. And look at how he is going after the victim. Look at how he is doing what he's doing. He's attacking. He's in a full court press to undo, thank you, by the way, Snake. What a kind thing to say, man. Really appreciate that. I hope so, right? I hope that we keep this fun to watch, right? I really hope so. But that's a very, very kind thing to say, and I appreciate it. Voldemort doesn't want this thing coming out. He can't fight this regular. He can't, right? He can't. Well, or if he can, he's certainly making it look as if he can't. He's making it look like another one of those desperate cats that just needs one. We got to convince just one person I'm not a lowlife. Well, I think we're going to see if he can't get these cases thrown out, what's to make us think the prosecutor's not going to do the same thing and take a good hard look at all of the cases that are going to be coming up against Voldemort. Because Voldemort, in his own words, said that Busby's got multiple cases, right? I'm not making this up. This is Valdy's words. He named both genders, right? He said that there were boys and girls that he's been accused of, underage men and women. So we've only seen one of these so far. Now, when we saw Celebrity A and Celebrity B. I love the way that he wrote it up, right? He was telegraphing it, letting everybody know what was coming. Not, she went into the room, 3 individuals entered. One of them was Sean Combs. The other we will call John Doe and Jane Doe. No, we'll call them Celebrity A and Celebrity B. Celebrity A, we found out after a month or whatever, when he refiled, what happened is, and we all know what happened, he went and said, we're going to do this in a mediation. We're going to sit down in a room. We're going to figure out some kind of a payout for what this woman alleges that you did to her. In exchange, she won't have to go through a very tough process of getting on the stand and doing all of that stuff, yeah? And you won't have your name trashed. He decided to say, no, I'm not going to do that. And I think, humble opinion, just an opinion, I think it's because he fears how many other cases. What if he settles this one, he's going to have to settle the next 2, 3, 4, 5? How many? What do we know? We don't. But we know they named Celebrity A. They didn't name Celebrity B, right? But then a content creator, and I'm not going to mention her name because I don't want to get her into, I don't want to bring heat to her, because all it was somebody left a name on the bottom of a filing. The name that was left on the bottom of the filing was J-Lo, right? And it was Spyro that, the attorney for Voldemort, it was Spyro that allegedly messed up and left this on there. Why? Right? To draw attention away from his client? Or maybe they're pissed that she settled. Maybe they're pissed that when they called her, she went, boof, let's do this, right? Let's assume that my theory holds water just for a second, right? Suspension of disbelief. Just pretend that I'm not stupid for a second, right? And let's pretend for that moment that J-Lo paid this off, right? Well, she would have done that because she was only there for one of these allegations, right? Maybe Valdy isn't paying off because he's got, out of his own mouth, multiple allegations. So instead, he's going to try to destroy the lawyer before the lawyer can destroy him. Cheeky, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Shannon, thank you. You know what? I really do appreciate the support. You all rock. So now we've got a situation, right, where celebrity B may be paid. Just a theory, but I think celebrity B paid. That's why we heard celebrities A name, but not celebrity B. And some people go, well, maybe it's because celebrity B had passed away. Don't you think they would have put that in the lawsuit? Seriously, why not? Celebrity B is a celebrity that has since passed away. She died in a plane crash or whatever the case may be. I don't see why you would leave a mysterious person out there. I don't see the benefit of that. I think, personally, I think it's really strange that this woman, who obviously has a crap load of power and a lot of pull, right? She's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, in the ballpark of $500 million, I think, or somewhere in there. She's got a PR, group of people. She's obviously got a press person. Everybody does, right? She's got a publicist. But no statement. She didn't come out and say, I'm not celebrity B. Knock that off. Quit talking about me. I'm not celebrity B. In fact, if I had been celebrity B, I would have called the cops. If I watched two grown men essay a 13-year-old, I'd have called the cops. Wow, wouldn't that have been a good statement? And how easy. And what a shot for your reputation. Honestly, you want to build your rep? You want to look good? You want to look solid? There you go. That's an easy one. It's a sinner. Why not do it? Why not do it? In fact, you could go even a little bit further and you could say, I'm not celebrity B, right? Busby never contacted me. I don't know why my name was on the bottom of that piece of paper, but Busby never contacted me. Boom, I'm done. She could step away, and now people won't yell the same question at her every time she leaves the house. Hey, are you celebrity B? Right? It seems odd, does it not? I mean, shouldn't this be one of those things that everybody kind of saw coming? How come we're not seeing certain people vehemently deny certain allegations against them? For instance, I'm not celebrity B. I don't know, people. It seems kind of stupid to me if you want to know the truth. Tell me I'm sorry Ree had to discuss something she was not even a part of. I know how triggered she was, and I'm sorry. Yeah, you know what? I love Reese, and it's unfortunate that things happen the way that they do. But they do, right? And the best that you can hope for is to handle things with grace, right? And with style. And it's not an easy thing to do. I promise you. You should give this gig a chance sometime. We work with individuals and we create content with individuals. I'm a former convict. You know the chances that somebody like Surviving the Survivor takes when they work with somebody like me? Like, what if I do something really awful tomorrow? Well, it's going to reflect poorly on everybody I ever worked with, and that's going to suck. Wedding day, blues, tax. Gary, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You have to deal with whoever you do content with, and sometimes that helps amazingly, right? Like I do great stuff over with the Sean Atwood program, and I love it. And you know what a shot in the arm it's been to the lifeboat? For real. Great people. Found such a fantastic audience over there. I love them. And that's great. That's the best parts of collaborations. And sometimes there's the other parts of collaborations. And you know something? When I did a show, if you guys have been around for any length of time, I did a show after eating some Valium and drinking some beer. The purpose of the beer was to kick in the Valium. I was not doing this because I needed medication. I was trying to get high. I mean, thank God I didn't use smack, but I got high. I relapsed. And I did a video called I Relapsed. And my homeboy from Surviving the Survivor called me and said, what can I do? How do we help? All right? What do we got to do? You want me to come there? You want me to bring you here? Like instantly. Now, I don't think he was fired up to see that headline, but he didn't turn his back on me as a friend. In fact, he was absolutely one of the most solid human beings ever. For forever, I will have mad respect and love in my heart for the guy because of that, right? So it's a fine line you cross when you want to condemn something that somebody does, but you don't want to. But you don't want to take shots at somebody when they're on the way down, especially with what we do for a living. Because you know something, sometimes you're on the way down, and when people take shots at you, it sucks, right? So if you happen to be on the way up and you happen to be doing well, maybe don't take shots at people. It's probably pretty good advice. It's classy. There's a lot of people on the big red button that do nothing but talk about people. You understand? And if you find yourself on a channel and all people talk about are people, that's okay if that's your entertainment. But just make no mistake, it is about as lowbrow as you're going to get in terms of using your brain pan. For real. Somebody asked in an earlier chat, how do you change your moral compass? Well, you have to want to, right? And the easiest way to do this is just to ask yourself all the time, am I moving closer to love or am I moving closer to hate, right? And if you find yourself watching content that does nothing but move the needle toward hate, what are you doing? I'm sorry, what are you doing? I mean, it's your decision. Knock yourself out. But garbage in, garbage out. If you think I'm kidding, go do some research, right? It's easily proven. What we bring in affects us. It does, right? I don't want to get all metaphysical and start yelling kumbaya and shit. But you know what? There are certain vibrations that we all have to deal with. And if you're going in the wrong direction, I promise those vibrations aren't going to make your life better. They're going to make your life worse.
Can I just say hi to everyone? Because they're all saying hi to me, and it's just better when I can pop in.
Sure.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. Right.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for saying hello and your support tonight. I really appreciate that. And also, he's really cute in this shirt.
You like that? Thanks,
just
babe.
Really cute altogether.
Why, thank you.
I love your soft bald head.
Yeah, it's freshly shaven. I just did a trim up on it.
Thank you, guys. I'm serious. It means a lot to me. Probably to him too.
No, I definitely appreciate the support. It's it doesn't need to happen the way it does, and it's pretty sad. Congratulations on yours and Reese's engagement. I am very happy for you both. Your video on New Year's Eve was epic. You know something? I often say to my brother Johnny, people use that word way too much. You know something? That video was epic. I'm sorry. I say to my brother, when people use that, they never use it right. That video was epic. I'm sorry, and I realize that I'm probably tooting my own horn, but that was a great proposal. I'm sorry I hit that out of the park. I'm taking a victory lap. What do you think of that? It was a good proposal. In fact, check this out. This is the official participation trophy, the official temporary participation trophy of the Lifeboat, as the other one is at the Lifeboat official office in the Southwest. But I'm giving this to myself now. So what do you think of that? Knocked that out of the park. I really did. Real T. Sorry, overtexted in my Support of Others Fund this week. I really just need you to confirm all the emails with my Patreon interviews. Okay, Corey Gamble. Yes, I did get the Corey Gamble stuff. And I'll tell you what a trip. I am working on a Corey Gamble story. It's probably going to take me a really long time. That's going to be one of those shows that I'm probably going to have to take hours to get through. Corey Gamble's story is bizarre. Thank you, Real T. And by the way, I really dig your work. Honestly, I caught a live the other day, and I really dig what you do. In fact, Wrenches, if you can, throw the link up there. Because if you dig what we do here, I think you're really going to like the format over there. Boy, this was a great day to be a mod. Whoa, yeah, right? It's, that's one of those situations, where being a mod for us is a challenge all the freaking time. But I would imagine right now, probably more so than ever. It really is probably more so than ever. Wharton Fissel, good to see you. Hey, Lisa Hill. Hey, Sean. So back to the Diddlerverse. It doesn't pass the smell test, right? We're not stupid people. We can agree on that, can't we? We're not stupid people. So when you find yourself saying the logical move, right? The absolute only logical move is to call your press people and say, I had nothing to do with that. I was never in the room when that happened. We need to release a statement that says, I'm not Celebrity B. Make me understand why that didn't happen. Because I'll tell you something, people. I'm the first person always to say, don't answer a troll. Don't talk about anything that people say about it. It's a waste of time. All you're doing is pumping oxygen into the room. That's not what this is. These aren't trolls that are saying, hey, this might be you. It's everyone on planet Earth that is saying, it's got to be J-Lo, right? Big channels are saying, well, it hasn't been proven, but everybody's kind of assuming everyone is saying this. So maybe I'm not as bright as I would like to consider myself. But would you or would you not, if you were J-Lo, would you not pop off and say, I promise you that's not me? Okay, so until I hear her say that, personally, I'm leaning in the direction that she was in that room. I just don't see any other reason to not deny it. It's not like you're saying, well, by denying this, I'm agreeing to do a 5-hour live feed where I'm going to take questions on everybody concerning my relationship with Sean Combs. We're not talking about anything high pressure here. She just has to pop off and say, I didn't do it. Unless you can't. And I bet you she's salty. Can you imagine if by some chance my theory holds water and she paid Busby some huge amount of money and then Spyro goes ahead and leaks her name? Oh, that's going to leave a mark. Right? That's going to leave a mark. If you paid all of that money to keep your name out of his mouth, keep my name out your mother-loving mouth, and then only to have it leak like this, and the people go, why would the attorney do that? Because we're talking about her. I'm not doing a show on Voldemort tonight, right? I'm doing a show on J-Lo and whether or not she's Celebrity B. That's what he wanted to happen. Sadly, how can you not do that show? She could shut it down. If that woman came out and made a statement that said, I wasn't Celebrity B, you think we'd be talking about this right now? Honestly. First 3 minutes of this show would have been, J-Lo denies that it's her. How about that? Seems pretty stupid to me. There's a lot of these things that don't make any sense. And unfortunately, I feel like we lose our common sense, right? Why are there not more people saying this? How come there aren't more people saying, J-Lo, make this easy, right? Some big, huge channel, right? Law and Crime Network. They'll listen to you. Why don't you pop off and say, J-Lo, right? Do yourself a favor and come out and make a very clear statement so that the world realizes you're not Celebrity B. Then we can move on. Not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Therefore, Voldemort's team isn't going to take the approach they were taking anymore. Now what they're going to do is they're going to start trying to challenge this law, which means this is a process that can go all the way up to the Supreme Court if necessary, right? They're going to try to challenge this puppy all of the way because if he can win, if he can figure out a way to say that none of these things have standing, right? None of these cases can even be heard. Then again, let's just play the devil's advocate and say that maybe he's guilty of all these things. But if none of these people can take these cases to the Survivors Act, then what? Then does he go back to just being the dude that he is? Huh? I personally don't think anybody comes out of this. Let's just, again, for just silliness, let's just say everybody gets found not guilty of any of these. You think Diddy's going to be throwing parties? Huh? You think Voldemort's going to be rolling around town like he used to? I know these people are arrogant, but this changes everything. It does. I personally do not believe that Bebe is going to stick by this dude. And I think that if she does, hey, Angie Mo, hey, Brock Bandy, if by some chance she sticks with this guy, what does that tell you? Put a deuce in the chat if you think the only reason this woman is sticking around is because he's got dirt on her. Why else do you stick with this guy? Now you can say, right, well, he's the father of her kids. No, I guess. I guess. Or was it Becky with the good hair and she just wore a fake baby bump until her kid was born, right? You've heard this theory. I'm not making this up, people. I'm not making this up, right? You've heard this theory. Have you not? Have you heard this theory? Have you heard the theory that she didn't give birth to any of these kids? That she wore a fake baby bump and that this was him out philandering around town, and instead of that she didn't really want to mess her body up, so this is how she got her kids. I swear to you, this is a very popular theory. Sorry. It's kind of remarkable. Judge just approved for Vlad to file to dismiss the case. The judge just approved for them to have the ability to file, or the judge just threw that out? Tropic Beauty, I'm confused. I think she's got money and business tied up with Jay-Z, no doubt. Some length. Yeah, you know something with prenups or whatever. It would be interesting to see how that plays out. Here's the thing. It isn't like she's not wealthy. It's not like Bebe isn't rolling in cash. She's got all kinds of money. It's just that he is obscenely wealthy, right? Streaming services and all kinds of other investments that have really gone pretty well for him. You've seen the footage of her baby bump crumpling when she sat down. I have heard that too. Yes, the dismissal ability to file. Yeah, no, I'm not surprised by that. I'm not surprised by that, right? I mean, at this point, I think they're probably going to be asking a lot of permission about things that they can file because they've been Happy New Year, allegedly, because at this point the judge is pissed, right? The judge has already come out and said, "I'm not putting up with any more frivolous BS." So my guess is that they probably filed something and said, "Hey, Your Honor, is it cool if we want to argue why we think this should be thrown out, or are you going to consider that frivolous?" I'll bet you it was one of those type of numbers. What do you think? The baby bump thing getting crumpled, creepy, right? What the hell is that all about? You can't make this stuff up, right? And obviously, right? I'm not telling you anything you don't know. These people are very different from us, right? Sure, absolutely. This is what I know best. I relapsed more than anybody on planet Earth. Now, if you relapsed on New Year's Eve, right? Today is the 2nd. That's a beautiful thing. So you've had what? A day, 2 days of messing up? Okay, my first piece of advice would be this. Let's say hypothetically you got 6 months of sobriety. Don't start counting from zero because that's stupid. That negates the 180 days of success that you just had, which isn't easy, right? So enjoy that 180 days of success and say that in the last 6 months you messed up 2 days because that's really what happened. You're not losing all of the skills that you developed in order to stay sober 180 days. So you get up and you dust yourself off, right? If you believe, right? If you believe that this is that 1 day at a time stuff and you really only have to get through today, then what difference does it make what you did yesterday anyway, right? Honestly, my favorite thing in the world was if I relapsed, even for, 5 minutes, if there was that moment in which I used, forget it, all bets were off. I was going to continue to use dope until they put handcuffs on me. That was my get down, right? Once I relapsed, well, there's no point now. Even if I had a year sober, nothing. All that year's gone. I wasted all that. Now that's a terrible mindset. And unfortunately, it's a mindset that happens with every other kind of rehab, right? In fact, they give you a little chip, right? Here you go. You're successful. Oh, we got to take that back. Got to take that back. You used. We're starting from day one now. Well, that's a terrible mindset. So please don't do that. Please. And don't beat the piss out of yourself. But just real briefly, because I know that most of you don't think the rehab stuff. But listen, the most important part of this is that there are really good relapses, right? My last relapse was awesome, right? The awesome relapse is the last one. It's the one where you go, oh my God, right? And a light bulb went on. And the reason that we journal is so we can go back and say, where did I relapse? Because relapse doesn't mean that you got high or you got loaded. Relapse means the process started going this way. I spent about 7 months in relapse last year. I didn't use, right? I just spent 7 months being an asshole and going in the wrong direction. But once you figure that stuff out and you do it by journaling, then you can start getting back on track. But you know what, Buddhist Beer? I have nothing but faith in you. You are an amazing person. So I have nothing but faith in you. This is just get up, dust yourself off, and start all over again. Under half of us have hit the like button. Well, that's got to stop. I'll tell you what I am happy about. A lot more of you are hitting subscribe. And I am trying to get to 28,000 by the first of the year. Came up a little short, but we're within striking distance of 28,000. So if you have not hit subscribe on the Lifeboat, get your butt over there and hit subscribe. Seriously, is it the Italian thing? What seems to be the problem? All right. Question. The baby bump thing doesn't add up. Baby bumps can be soft. They can be firm and soft at different times, so it doesn't prove anything. Also, doesn't the theory say that CW was not V pregnant? So I understand what you're saying concerning the bumps. However, and I am not an authority on any such crap, but I did watch a really incredible video once, and they were actually doing like a juxtaposition between seeing someone who was actually pregnant for the same duration of time sitting. And it definitely looked really odd to me. Now, that said, I saw a video once that looked an awful lot like Justin Bieber was giving a mouth hug to a football player, and that didn't happen, right? How people choose what we look at will really greatly determine what we observe out of that, right? Sadly, that's the truth. There's been a lot of videos that really give you a message, but when you actually see what's happening, you're like, that's BS. Like, we just got lied to. The video where the diddler is saying, I got you for 48 hours. Do you think there's anybody on the internet that dislikes diddler more than me? Right? I'm not giving this guy a pass about anything, but that whole clip that we saw is BS. Doesn't mean that he didn't do bad things to Justin Bieber. I kind of believe that happened. Yeah, I really believe that happened. But that video doesn't prove it. The kid isn't uncomfortable because of what's going on with Diddy. The kid's uncomfortable because they said to him right before they shot that, yeah, we're gonna improv. You're gonna do this improvisation thing, and we're gonna make it look like. And he was a bad actor, is what it was. But if you see the whole video before what they edit out of it, you'll realize that there's a lot of people out there that are looking for a 2-second snippet of a piece of film that will give you an impression so that they can push a narrative, get 400,000 views, cash some checks, and get famous. Right? I believed things that I saw. I believed that Justin Bieber was doing stuff with Odell Beckham. Didn't happen. It didn't. And it's not even hard to go do that deep dive. Go do it. They're 3 feet apart. There wasn't even any contact. It was just it's a very odd camera angle, right? We don't have depth of perception, right? Those kind of videos shot from the back, you can't tell if somebody's on top of somebody, or you can't tell whether they're 10 feet apart, right? 10 feet between them. It's an elliptical delusion. It's an obstacle contusion. It's that thing when you don't see right, and I think you know what I'm trying to say. First of the year and whatnot, right? My brain has gone to mush. It was probably right after that proposal thing, you know? Puffy Flavor Camp. Now, the Puffy Flavor Camp, that was kind of a different animal. Puffy Flavor Camp was actually where Usher went and stayed with Sean Combs. Sean Combs was given legal guardianship over this kid. This is the part where you say, what the actual F were Usher's parents thinking? Yeah, go ahead. This is the time where you can say that. What were they thinking? Honestly, I don't care how much money that my kid can make or how much this is going to make their dreams come true. You want me to send my 13 or 14-year-old to a rock star's house to live, right? What? That's insane. And we've all seen the interviews, right? Where they said, Howard Stern says to him, hey, would you let your kids go? Hell no. He doesn't even let him finish the sentence. Hell no. He says he saw a lot of things he wasn't even sure if he could partake in. I don't know what that means, right? But according to Gene Deal, he was partaking in a lot of stuff, right? And we know, allegedly, that he had to go to the hospital because wrestling for cornflakes apparently caused him to bleed from his backside. There's something wrong with that. Just something completely wrong with that. Donna, good to see you. You know, if you beat the piss out of yourself, right, for relapse, all you're doing is setting yourself up for the next one, right? The emotion that drives us back to use, in my opinion, the emotion that drives us back to use more than any other, right, is guilt. So it doesn't pay off. It's a bad emotion. Deal with why you used, right? Don't deal with the fact that you used. It already happened. Figure out why you used. Make it a great relapse, right? The last one, the one that never happens again. Worst case scenario, you do not evaluate what happened to you and you waste a freaking relapse. That is a God-blessed tragedy, right? And a sin. Don't let that happen. Please don't let that happen. Happy New Year, Tommy, and congrats. Just joined you tonight from Sean's channel. What you do is amazing. Love from, what a nice thing to say. Thank you so much. And I appreciate the congrats. I'm pretty excited about the whole thing. And she makes excellent chili. That's a really kind of an important thing if you're going to become betrothed, right? Especially to a Scoville. We're kind of a chili kind of a clan, you know what I'm saying? Kind of a chili kind of a clan. But she's not afraid of heat, which is also really kind of cool. Sir Tedrick Walker, good to see you. Hello, Laureen Renee. Hello, Incarnasoul. Tell me I'm an idiot, right? Tell me you can think of a logical reason why these people are reacting the way that they are, huh? Have we not watched this crap happen our whole lives? Seriously. We've seen how many people over the course of our lives who got called out, famous people who got called out. Why? Because they're having affairs, right? They're out doing something like, let's think. How about Tiger Woods, right? You come out and you make a statement. You do damage control. Get in front of it. You ever heard that term? They want to get in front of it. They don't want all of this to be. So you get out and you make a statement as quick as you can. Yeah, I cheated on my wife. I feel horrible about it. That's what Tiger did. And he said he was a sex addict and he was going to go get help. And you know what? People began to forgive him damn near instantly. Right? This is what is done. You get out in front of it, or you deny the hell out of it. You don't say, wait. So I've been accused of what? Your lawyer gave a woman herpes. Yeah. And you steal cash from clients. And you wear cheap suits. And you put an 800 number behind you. You're a friggin' ambulance chaser. I'm not afraid of people like you. You know what I am? I'm a gangster, right? I'm from New York. I'm a gangster. We're not afraid of people like you. What? Does that sound like an innocent person to you? I don't know, man. I spent my life as a criminal. That doesn't sound innocent to me. Simply put, it doesn't. Okay. Next person in the queue has an opportunity to just pop out and say, didn't do it. Wasn't me. I'm not celebrity B. You can leave me alone. You can stop messing with me on this. I'm not celebrity B. You're driving my family crazy. If I had been celebrity B, I'd have called the cops. Boy, would that do wonders for her, wouldn't it? Tell me you wouldn't give her a pass if she popped off and said that. She came out with a statement that said, I would have called the cops had I seen that. I don't know who celebrity B is, but shame on them for not calling the cops or anything along those lines. Now, maybe celebrity B was terrified. Who knows? But a statement that gets in front of this. Are you going to tell me that J-Lo didn't hear that day, right? That, hey, your name was left on the bottom of some filing and now people kind of think it's, get my publicist on the phone. Let's make a statement. Because of money. Well, here's the thing, though. This is costing her money. Right? Now it's costing them money. This isn't helping her. This is killing her. People now are going to spend weeks speculating about whether or not she was in there. They're going to spend weeks speculating if there was a shot that this isn't her. The best thing she could do for her money would be to stop the bleeding. Right? Stop the bleeding. You got tons of people out there talking about what a scumbag of a human being you are. And they're taking all kinds of crap from the past to try to prove it. Their power and popularity is more important than calling the cops. Well, that's been proven, hasn't it? I mean, honestly, that's been proven. Nothing is more important. And then you got your boyfriend telling the world that, right? So when this stupid documentary that they made, The Greatest Love Story Never Told, right, about Bennifer, when that story comes out, he says, I'm an alcoholic, right? There's not enough alcohol for me. Once I have that first drink, there's not enough booze for me. I can never get enough. My wife is the same way with attention. God help us. If I said that about Reese in a documentary, I would be scared. I mean, what kind of husband says that about his wife? Well, they're no longer together, so that probably checks out. But it tells us who she is, right? And I'm sorry. Yeah, that's really a great question, isn't it? This is disturbing to me. Now, I realize it's a small world, right? But She Woke is absolutely right. What the deuce is Cassie's current husband doing, performing with Beyonce? Does that smell right to you? This gets back to this convict thing, right? Honestly, this gets me in trouble all the time, right? But the friendship thing, how are you going to do anything with them after everything that has happened? I don't understand. And not for nothing, but didn't she just get like a $30 million settlement? Maybe working isn't so important, right? I mean, I think they're doing all right. It seems really odd. I wouldn't do that to my girl. I would feel really messed up. But that's a great question, and I've not heard anybody that can give you any kind of a no. It definitely was her husband, man. It definitely was her husband. Yeah. No, I read a couple of big articles on it. Absolutely no two ways about it, and that to me is bizarre. I'm sorry, it really is. It's bizarre, but I'm a wood chipper. There you go. Whine a little bit more. Good to see it. It doesn't make a lot of sense. You were watching my fiance on replay. Well, that's good. Excellent. Watch it again. Cassie's husband. Yeah. So Cassie Ventura married her person that was her personal trainer, right? So, and they have a beautiful family. They've shown pictures of it. They really seem to have a great life going. However, during that show that she put on recently, right? Cassie's husband was working with Beyonce on that project. That's odd. Now they're really, really different people. She woke says Cassie's not completely innocent, and you know something? I don't believe for a second that anybody is completely innocent in this. I don't, but I think that this gets into some really tough stuff, and this is going to sound sexist and stupid, but you know what? I'm sticking with it. I'm the wrong gender, right? Those are hard things to say because I do believe, right? I do believe that this woman was abused, and we don't have to. There's not a whole lot of suspension of disbelief on this. Yeah, we watched him beat the piss out of her in a hotel. Whole world saw it, right? And I know that there are people out there that have a very different view on this than I do, right? But I got news for you. If right before we saw that film, she hit him in the face with a frying pan, I still don't think what happened in that hallway is legit, right? I don't, and that's a personal thing with me. But I think that behavior, there's no spot for that on earth. Putting hands on a woman is just not something that there's a place for unless you're literally defending your life or trying to keep her from killing a kid or doing something messed up. It's just not something that you can get away with. We also know from testimony that people have said that we got a ton of witnesses that saw him put hands on his previous lady, right? We know that there's testimony that he had to fly in a plastic surgeon to rebuild her schnoz because he broke it, right? These kind of violent relationships that he's had with women have been the norm for him. He's been abusing one woman after another his entire life, allegedly, right? That's how it looks. Now, maybe Cassie really dug it in the beginning. And I'm not judging. I'm not doing the kink shaming or any of that shit. Maybe she was really into it in the beginning, right? But I don't believe at the end of it she possibly could have been. You know, I really don't. And I think that some of the stuff that comes out, for instance, he's got her booking the porn stars or the sex workers or whatever you want to call them. She has to literally put together all of the moving parts for this freak off. That's the kind of stuff that really sick control people will ask somebody to do or force somebody to do. And it's multi-purposed, isn't it? Because when the time comes that you might get called into court, they're gonna bring people in to testify that no, it was Cassie that called me. Yeah. And she said she was looking for somebody whose junk was between this size and that size. This is the kind of testimony that we're going to hear. Right? Gene Deal talks about it all the time in interviews. How it was very specific that they were looking for certain equipment. Whatever. But it's going to make Cassie look bad. And that's the only card they got is going to be to trash Cassie. And you know what? There's going to be a lot of people that say that Cassie liked getting high with him. And in the early days, that may be the truth. But again, all of these things, I think it's possible, right? And I think everybody should get this, but it's possible to say yes and then say no. And I have a feeling that when Cassie started to say no, that there was no option for her, right? And there's enough people that have come forward to say what goes on with this dude when people say no to him, right? And obviously there was some real jealousy issues and other stuff in this guy's life, if you believe the things that are alleged, right? Kid Cudi's car didn't blow itself up. right? Allegedly, somebody cut a hole in the roof, threw a Molotov cocktail in there. And allegedly, he said he was going to do it before he did it. And then he wanted to make sure that people were home when it went down. I mean, I get it. I really do. You think your girl's cheating on you, but that can make things ugly. And there's a lot of people who are going to be saying too that, Sean Combs' lawyer got up in court and said, you know what you saw in that video? You saw an unfortunate 1-minute clip of film of a very, very odd relationship that was going on for a long time. And there was a lot of violence on both sides, but this is how they lived. Their love is different than what you normally saw, but this is how these people live. That's a tough sell, man. Holy shit. If your defense is, yeah, he beats the hell out of her, but this is how they get down, right? This is their love. That's a tough sell, man. I don't think you're going to find 12 jurors that are going to buy that crap, personally, right? Yeah, Lorene, it's frightening, honestly. Like there have been, allegedly he has said some things like he wanted to be the Antichrist. That kind of stuff has allegedly been put forth. Any way you shake it, the conduct of these people, right, is getting everybody to pay attention to some issues that really need to be discussed. Yeah. This is bringing to light things that happen. We need a form of entertainment where there aren't any victims. We need people to be able to go and audition without having to be sodomized. People who want their music or their art to be seen shouldn't have to perform fellatio on strangers, right? Heterosexually or homosexually, right? Against everything that a person believes solely so that they got a shot. That's got to stop, right? I think that's what 2025 is going to bring to light, is this kind of rampant abuse at the hands of people that just have the cash to make bad situations go away. How many times do you think somebody at Bad Boy stroked a check to make something go away? How many times over the course of the last 3 decades did they have to threaten somebody to make something go away? 3,000 phone calls allegedly, right? We're gonna now be looking at about 300 lawsuits there. That's what they're alleging now, is we could be looking at 300 lawsuits. How many people did he do this to? How many people did they have to pay off? What was going on? How did this cat stay that protected? He sure as shit isn't anymore. But it's giving you a really good idea of what the protected class can get away with, right? If Busby's not BSing, and it's really dangerous to BS right before you got to go to court, but he claims that about half of the people he's representing went to the hospital after they were assaulted, right? And about half of them went to the police. Well, that's a broken ass system, right? That's broken. And the term 2-tiered justice system, God help us. We can't get through a day without hearing that. I don't care what news you listen to. I don't care where you go. You're not going to hear a day go by that somebody doesn't talk about a 2-tier justice system. Well, I'll tell you what, man. The rich and famous absolutely have a different justice system. I love the guy that played Iron Man. But if I crawled into a young girl's bedroom and fell asleep at the foot of her bed, whacked out on smack, I would never get out of prison. I assure you, right? Robert Downey Jr. did that. That happened. And I'm a fan. I like the guy. But these people get treated really differently than we do, right? Look up T.I.'s case sometime. For real. Because the guns that landed me in prison for 13 years of my life were nothing compared to what that dude had, and he went to a camp. Right? There's a completely different justice system for the rich and for the famous. And if that crap doesn't stop, then we're a joke. We really are. Right? And we're the first to say things like royalty doesn't make sense. Well, I got news for you. We're way worse. We're way worse. We do this hero worship shit for people that can rhyme, right? Or people that can sing or whatever. And it turns out they can't sing, they can't rhyme. They're handpicking people and bringing them in so that if they make 100 million, we'll let them keep 20. right? We'll keep 80. They're handpicking people out of their own mouth. They don't want people with talent. How horrific is that? So what's happening to the people with talent? They get sent away. We'd rather use somebody to turn on the auto tune, get somebody to write some songs for them, and completely control them. Yeah, right. Videotape them having sex with other men. Boy, oh boy, peeps. Boy, oh freaking boy. All right. Tutor by the Lake, good to see you. Just Gun, how are you? You know, I want to give a huge shout out because when this video started, as is very often the case when you create a bunch of content, as this one was starting, I was thinking to myself, you know what? I don't want to do this. It's been that kind of a day. It's been that kind of 24 hours. But I do appreciate all of you and just how kind you all are, right? Not just to me, but to my girlfriend, fiance. Did I just call her a girlfriend? We're enfianced. Is that how you say that? We're enfianced. I got her a ring. As I like the name, I put a ring on it, right? Yeah, if you like it, then you should put a ring on it. You know who sings that, don't you? Yeah, if you fall down the satanic rabbit hole, here's the thing. There is a vicious satanic rabbit hole. Yeah, there really is. And you kind of got to be careful going down it. And the reason I say that is this. I believe in evil. I believe in good versus evil. I promise you, I've seen evil. People say evil doesn't exist. People do evil things. I've seen evil people. I promise you, they exist. That's my humble opinion, right? I've looked them in the eye. They exist. I did time with a lot of them. There's some evil bastards in there. Not all of them. The vast majority are not. But there are some really, really evil people in there. Make no mistake. So please, people, right? Please. Darren Jackson, thank you. Again, really do appreciate you. Yeah, sorry. Fiancé. There you go. Fiancé. I'll work with that. Helena, you're okay. Sammy Sue. Yeah, they exist. Evil's out there. It really is. And we're going to call it out in all of its forms in 2025. We are. And we got a pretty good team of people together to do it. The 4 horsemen. And this is coming. It's going to be ugly. And guess what? The people that we pointed out are going to deserve it. I think I personally have reached the line in the sand moment, and I hope the rest of you have. You know, I do. All right. Between now and the next time I see you, do me a favor, reach out and try to save somebody. All right. God bless, and we'll see you on the other side, peeps. Bye-bye.